Hello and welcome to CMST 126, Introduction to Mass Media. My name is Rob McKenzie. I'm the professor for this course, and I'm also the chairperson for the Department of Communication. If you're interested whatsoever in anything having to do with our department, our Bachelor of Arts degree, for example, our minor, we have an 18-credit minor, our master's degree, if you're interested in our master's degree, if you're interested in our accelerated program, that's where you can take master's degree classes while you're also in your undergraduate program and count those credits towards both the master's and the undergraduate program. If you're interested in any of that stuff, I'm more than happy to help you. For this class, however, this is CMST 126, Introduction to Mass Media, a general education class. The format of the class is very simple. Every single day, including today, there will be an instructor video that is made available on D2L under the Content tab. It'll be made available at 1 o'clock. And then you have from 1 o'clock until 1 o'clock the next day, 24 hours. Anytime you want to log on, that's up to you. You have 24 hours to do three things. The first is to read the chapter. We have 15 chapters for the course. We have 15 classes. So every day we have a chapter. And then also, secondly, we have an instructor video, like the one that you're watching here. The instructor video is anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes long. So you'll read the chapter, you'll watch the instructor video, and then you'll take the quiz. You will not be able to see the quiz unless you watch the instructor video. Watching the instructor video triggers the release of the quiz on D2L. So you've got to watch the instructor video before you see the quiz. The quiz is 10 questions. And there are 15 quizzes for the course. So that's how it works. You have from 1 o'clock each day until 1 o'clock the next day to complete your assignments. Let's take a look at the syllabus now if you want to bring that up. And I'll also mention what parts of the D2L page we'll be using. We don't use that many parts. Basically, we use the Content tab. The Content tab is where you're going to find the syllabus and where you're also going to find the instructor videos and where you're also going to find what I call RSC posts guidelines. And I'll say more about that in a few minutes. So that's the Content tab. The other tab that you'll be using will be the Assessments tab. And the Assessments is where you will find your quizzes. Those are the two main tabs that we're going to be using for the course. There is one more tab. I'm sorry. There's a third tab is the Discussions tab, and that's where you'll be making your RSC posts. Your RSC posts I'll be talking about in a couple of moments. So 3 tabs for D2L. All right, let's take a look at the syllabus now. It's under the Content tab. This is Intro to Mass Media, CMST 126. My name is Rob McKenzie. I have a Ph.D. from Penn State University. I also did my master's degree there, both in the field of communication. And I did study international broadcasting. I also have a bachelor's degree, by the way, from Millersville University, where I did a degree in history. Millersville is a university just like East Stroudsburg University. It's in the PASHE system, the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. So those are my degrees. My wife, by the way, also works at ESU. I'll mention her. Her name is Kelly McKenzie. She is the department chair of the Department of Academic Success. And if you need tutoring, she is the one that will be able to help you tutoring for any of your classes here. My son also goes to ESU. He's in the interdisciplinary program, and my daughter did a year at ESU as well. Even my mom, who's 91, took a class at ESU, so we're an ESU family. All right, let's get back to the syllabus now. I have one main objective for this class, and that's to survey the developments and the technologies of mass media and how those developments affect our lives. So for much of the class, we're going to be looking at inventions like radio and then how radio impacted the way that society changed. That's sort of the formula for the first part of the class. We have 2 readings for the class. I have one of them here with me. This is the main reading. Well, I guess they're both main readings. This one is called Mass Communication. It's by Ralph Hansen. This is the 8th edition. That's the one that you'll need for this class. We'll be reading chapters from that book every single day and then taking a quiz on that book. The second book is called Rounding Some Corners. Rounding Some Corners. This is a book that I wrote. It's full of columns that make oddball observations of ironies in our lives. That's what it's about. It's about looking at oddball ironies that people have as part of their daily routines. And most of the columns are supposed to be funny. And almost all of them do have a double meaning to them. And that double meaning is usually in the last sentence of the column. Each column only takes 2 minutes to read. So that's another book that we'll be working from in this class. And the reason that we're going to be working from that book is because you will be a mass media producer using ideas from that book as well as your own ideas. More about that in a few moments, but it's called Rounding Some Corners. Both of the books for this class can be obtained online. Rounding Some Corners is from Fountainhead Press. I'm going to have a link that goes out in today's email with where you can get that online, or you can get it from the university bookstore, or you can get it from Fountainhead Press in hard copy. But you need it today. You need it today because class starts today. The other book, Mass Communication, Living in a Media World by Ralph Hansen, you can also buy online, or you can get it from the university bookstore. All right, moving on in the syllabus now. We do have some departmental outcomes. I'm not going to read those for you. You can read those on your own. But basically, these are outcomes that we expect all of our students to be able to get from whatever course you're taking in communication. These are departmental outcomes. And then we also have course outcomes next on the syllabus. And course outcomes are specific to this class, Intro to Mass Media. There's a whole list of them there. I'm not going to mention all of them. I'll just say one. Be able to identify major technological inventions and inventors impacting the development of mass media. That's just one of the course outcomes. All right, flipping the page now, going to page 2 on the syllabus. This is a distance education class, a DE class. It'll be taught exclusively online. You'll need to navigate your way through D2L. It's a fairly simple platform to be able to use, and most of you already know how to use it. If there's a problem with your D2L, you do have the help desk that you can contact at ESU. All right, next up is the instructor video. I've already talked about that somewhat. It's basically each day I'll do a video just like this one, and you have until 1 o'clock the next day to view that video and to do the other things for the classes. Also, I mentioned that there are quizzes. Each one is going to be time for 10 minutes exactly. You'll have one question for each minute, so to speak. And each question is going to be worth 0.5 points. So each quiz is worth 5 points. So there'll be 15 quizzes. They are all multiple choice, and each quiz is for one chapter. Please note that on my multiple choice exam that E is a viable answer. E, none of the preceding. It's not a throwaway on my quizzes. It is a viable answer. And I also want to let you know that the quizzes will be randomized so that two people happen to be sitting next to each other. They're going to have different questions. All right, now let's move on to this Rounding Some Corners post assignment that I was telling you about. Rounding Some Corners, the name of the second book for the class. It's a book of columns that make observations about oddball ironies of life. Many of the columns deal with media use. I am a media professor, and so the material for my observations often came from observing how people use their cell phones or their televisions or their laptops or whatever. So that's why I select this particular assignment, because the book has a lot of material that naturally relates to media. But basically what you're doing is you're taking one column that you choose in the book. You can read them in order if you want, or you can read them back to front. You can pick them out randomly. You can choose one from the table, the index. You can choose a column whatever you want, however you want. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go onto a social media platform of your choice, as long as it is Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And then what you're going to do is you're going to post a summary of that column. And then what you're going to try and do is you're going to try and get engagement from your followers by raising a question or making a provocative statement to try and get people to engage. And that's the purpose of this assignment, is to make you into a mass media producer, where you have to cultivate your skills throughout these next 3 weeks at trying to get engagement. The first couple times you may not get anybody who responds to what you're saying, but that's the point of this assignment. You are not just a mass media student in this class, you are also a mass media producer. And so that's what this assignment is about. Now, the final part of the assignment is, once you have posted and gotten a reaction on your social media platform, then what I want you to do is to screen capture that and to put it onto D2L under the discussions tab. And then once you've screen captured it, you're going to add a sentence at the bottom where you're going to explain why you think you got the answer you did, why you think you got the response from a follower or a friend that you got on your social media platform in making a post about something having to do with a column and rounding some corners. And by the way, don't just repeat my ideas when you're making your posts. Shake it up, move it up. Put your own ideas into it, but use the rounding some corners column as a platform, as a springboard for you to extend your own ideas. So this assignment gets you producing mass media, it gets you analyzing what is effective in terms of getting engagement, and it also gets you analyzing why people are responding the way that they are to your posts. And that's what this is about. You'll make a post every single day. Every single day. You get a free point, okay? Every single day you get 2 points for every rounding some corners post. It's 30 points, this assignment. Don't throw away your points in this class. It's not like this assignment is graded. It's not like you get up to 2 points for every post. No, you just get the points. And so if you don't do a rounding some corners post on D2L after you've posted on your social media platform, you're throwing away 2 points for the class. And that can add up pretty quickly. So they're easy points, and you'll have 15 of them done by the end of the class. There is a sample RSC post, as I sometimes shorthand it, and you can find that on D2L under the Discussions tab, and you can see how one is properly done there. All right, and there are 2 hashtags that go along with your post as well. You do hashtag RSC and hashtag rounding some corners. All right, let's go on now and just summarize all the grade weights now for the class. We're back to the syllabus here. Actually, we've never left the syllabus, but continuing on with it, we've got 70 points for this class coming from the quizzes. That's 15 quizzes times 5 points each. And I will drop the lowest quiz score. So you have 1 quiz that you get to drop, and that'll give you 70 points. Then you have 30 points coming from your RSC posts. And so that's 2 points for every post, 15 posts. So that gets you to 100 points for the class. All right, now continuing on with the rest of the syllabus material, original work. All work submitted in this class must be original work. It must be your work. You must not copy and paste material from the web and submit it as your own, except in the RSC posts. Also, late work. There will be no late work that's accepted for this class. It moves very quickly, so make sure that you're staying up with your RSC posts and taking your quizzes and reading the chapters and watching the instructor videos. There will be no late work, otherwise it opens up doors for that I have to allow for other people to have those same opportunities if I allow one person. My email policy, moving on. You can email me anytime. I respond very quickly to email, but please make sure that you pay attention to grammar and spelling, and please make sure that you use a salutation such as hello or doctor or professor or Mr. or Rob. Don't just, hey, when is the quiz? That's not the way that we communicate in email. There's an etiquette to it that I want to impart to you. All right, turning the page now. Now we've got the Title IX statement. The Title IX statement tells you that you know what your rights are if you believe that you've been harassed in this class in any way, shape, or form, and you know what your rights are and how to proceed. And then finally, we have the tentative schedule of events. You can see it's pretty straightforward there, chapters 1 through 15. Today we're doing chapter 1 in a separate instructor video. Tomorrow we're taking on chapter 2, and so on. And then we'll be done with the class in 3 weeks. The last thing I want to alert you to, if you do want more information about my academic background, the things that I've published, the courses that I've taught, etc., you can find that information under the Content tab. I have a curriculum vitae posted there. CV is what it stands for. So once again, welcome to Intro to Mass Media CMST 126. I really look forward to learning along with you for the next 3 weeks.